Sorted after the war, the Nazi race. The history books, they tell of their defeat in 45. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat. Whilst Hess remained in prison, then the fascists they would beat. So the promise of an Aryan world would never materialize. So why did they all come out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died? The world is riddled with maggots. The maggots are getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses and bureaucrats. They're taking over the boardrooms and they're fat and full of pride. And they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and peddling racist lies. And we'll never rest again until every Nazi dies.
Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Woke up one morning and there were soldiers. The invasion had begun. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Lend me your shoulder, we'll stand together. But I feel my time has come, and if I die here for the resistance, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. And if I die here for the resistance, you must lay me in my grave among the flowers upon the mountain. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Among the flowers upon the mountain, let me rest among the brave. Someday the people will pick the flowers. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Someday the people will pick the flowers, and they will remember my name. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of the resistance. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. This is the flower of the resistance, and those who died for liberty. This is the flower of our resistance, and those who died for liberty.
Come all of you good workers, good news to you I'll tell of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
My daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man?
Which side are you on? Which side are you
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I was born in the Dublin street where the lion runs do beat, and the lovely English people walked all over us. And every single night when they tell, come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders.
Hello there, hello there, hello there everybody. How the devil are we all? I am alive, but barely at this point, I think. Yes. I don't know what time I got home this morning. It was like broad daylight though, so yeah, we had a good session. And then I woke up about I don't know, about 3 in the afternoon, something like that, drenched in sweat. I had the window open and everything, and I was just absolute, like I'd just gotten out of a fucking shower. Absolutely fucking mad. Yeah. I watched the football well, not last night, this morning. It was technically the same day. Doesn't feel like it. It's always broad daylight. Well, not really. Like you can tell when it's night time. It's just it becomes daytime quite early. But either way, I don't know what time it was, but it felt like there was hubbub. There was traffic on the roads and stuff. So I imagine it was it must have been relatively late or early or whatever. I don't know. Something like that. What was the first song you play? Oh, good question. What is the first song I play? Oh, it's the On the Day the Nazi Died by Chumbawamba, who people mainly think of as the ones that did Tub Thumping. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Ain't never gonna keep me down, etc., etc. But they're actually a rather based socialist band. Yeah. So anyway, go and check them out, etc. Yeah. Tonight's one might not be for everyone, I think. We're going to have a little bit of football chat up top because that seems appropriate, I think. And then I was thinking, unless there's anyone particularly wants me to sort of react to or anything, we might do a little bit of GeoGuessr, which I used to love doing on the stream. Don't worry, I'll still talk to everyone. You can still ask me questions, and all of that, and I'll still fucking whatever, you know. We'll still do politics chat, but just the thing on the screen will be, you know, me guessing whatever. You know, Bangkok. And I did just say that because I wanted to say cock as well. Yeah. Anyway. Also, got to be careful of the voice. I don't want to end up sounding like Harry Kane. Although that was very funny. His voice was totally gone. Red card is basically having to sit in the corner during class and then being made to stay in at break. Is it? Don't do a Jordan Henderson by falling off your bed. That was amazing. Jordan Henderson managed to get booked and injured and had to be wheeled away with the use of oxygen in a game he did not take part in. That's pretty special. That's pretty special. Have I seen the Platner news? No. Is it more Nazi-related shite? I don't know. Has he raped somebody? Is he a murderer? What is it? Is Kev pregnant? Almost certainly. Yeah. Well, you allow enough guys to come inside you, it's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah, he did fuck his new wrist. Yeah, that's true. He tried to jump over. That's the thing. Jordan, you are not much younger than I am, Mr. Henderson, if you want to be formal about it. Don't jump over. Don't try and jump over things. We are not built at this age to be doing such athletic things. You had a good season this year, a good comeback, albeit you still took Saudi blood money, but there we go. Oh, guy! Oh, Platner's actually raped someone, for fuck's sake. Well, I mean, he's a Nazi, so that kind of makes sense, I guess. But, like, I said that as a, like... thinking, well, if I pitch the kind of the badness of the story that high, surely it won't be that bad. Surely it'll just be like, oh, some old, vaguely racist tweets came out or something like that. But no, apparently. Yeah. Okay, well, I suppose we could talk about that. But let's do football first. For anyone who is not a fan of the England football team, and it's perfectly reasonable why you would not be. And I don't take any I don't take umbrage with people who don't. Right? I think it's funny that Scottish people can have some banter about it, and Welsh and Irish people. I get that totally. So I'm not going to be like angry or anything like that. But do try to not be like churlish about it. There's no need for silliness. We can have some banter. I don't mind. I couldn't give two fucks about that. You can hate on the English all you like. Go for it. But when I'm talking about just like football, there's like I tell it like like I see it, so to speak. The English are the Germans of Britain. Yeah, that's actually not a bad way of putting it. That's not a terrible way of putting it at all. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I'll just sort of say it as I say. England won 3-2. Absolutely amazing game of football. Genuinely one of the classics of this edition of the World Cup. There are obviously loads of great statistics, like it's the first time that England have won at the Maracanã. It's the first time we've beat a host nation at a World Cup. It's only the third time ever that Mexico have been beaten there, for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's a home game every time Mexico play there because it's in Mexico City, and secondly, the altitude and the temperature and the conditions are rough, and the atmosphere was fucking insane. Honestly, the Mexican fans can be very proud of themselves. And actually, more broadly, Mexico can be proud of that team, who I think put up a fantastic. Did I say Maracanã? Apologies, I meant the Azteca. Sorry, the Maracanã is in fucking Rio de Janeiro, completely different continent. No, the Azteca Stadium in Ciudad de Mexico. To be completely mispronouncing the city of Mexico, i.e. Mexico City. Yeah, so it's only the third time they've ever lost there, which is incredibly impressive from the England team. Great game of football, real back and forth. Jude Bellingham. I mean, I'm not just proud of him, obviously, because he came through the Birmingham City ranks, which is my team, but he's a genuinely world-class footballer. Scored twice. There was one moment, and again, it's sort of fuzzy because I was getting quite drunk, and there was A couple of spicy cigarettes that were going around as well. Some of the devil's lettuce was being consumed by some. Anyway, so I'm a little hazy, but there was one point where he took the ball and flicked it inside and took on like 3 or 4 Mexicans, and eventually was tackled out of it by like a 5th or so. And I was just like, motherfucker, like this guy, honestly, it reminded me of Zidane. It reminded me of Zinedine Zidane. Fucking brilliant. Now, obviously, he has to do that more regularly and more often in order to be considered on the same level as Zidane was. But you've got to bear in mind, Zinedine Zidane was not that good when he was 21. Zidane got that good when he was 25 till 30. Whereas Bellingham's already that good. Very, very special talent. Yeah, a great game of football. In terms of the refereeing, I think he got all of the big decisions right. But what really annoyed me about that referee, like both penalties were penalties. The red card was a red card. Although I presume now that governments can just openly interfere. I hope Keir Starmer puts pressure on the FIFA and he gets overturned, because it's only fair, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Fucking ridiculous corruption. Honestly, like, people forget that should mean that America are expelled from the tournament. Under FIFA's actual rules, governmental interference should mean that the American team are expelled from this tournament and suspended from FIFA. It's not going to happen, obviously. They're the most corrupt organisations on earth. Them or the Catholic Church. It's one of the two. And they're all nonces as well, of course. You know. Yeah, so I think the referee got all of the decisions correct. The big decisions, that is. But what really annoyed me, and Alan Shearer actually picked up on this in commentary, is that from the very beginning, and it's a real bugbear of mine, when a referee wants to be the fucking centre of attention, when the referee wants to be the star of the fucking show, it drives me all. Like, no one has gone there no one is watching this to watch you fucking being the star here. It's so fucking annoying. It infuriates me no end. Like, just get on with refereeing the game. When they start running up to players and remonstrating and it's all theatrical and fucking silly, like, stop it. In many respects, like, referees are there to be seen and not heard. Or heard and not seen. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they're just... Stay in your fucking lane, lad. Anyway, he annoyed the fuck out of me with that. Although I quite like the fact that he let a lot of stuff go. He wasn't pulling up little silly fouls and things. I was fine with that. I mean, it's never consistently applied. The next game, they'll be fucking diving about all over the shop and getting free kicks, I'm sure. But for that game, you were allowed to actually tackle, which was nice. It was a refreshing change. Anyway, great game of football. And again, Mexico can be very proud of that team, of the fans, of the culture, and as hosts. Like, actually, and to be fair, outside of the American government being dog shit, all 3 nations can be proud of what they've done as hosts. I think they actually have put on a good tournament. The crowds have been very receptive, even with the fucking horrific pricing. You know, the various cities that have hosted teams and fans and stuff have been really good. Obviously highlighted by Scotland in Boston, but where was it? Kansas City or something like that hosted something like the Tunisia didn't qualify, did they? One of the African teams, and like every time they got back to the city, there were like thousands of the locals that would like cheer them on as they got back into the city. They like took them on as their team. And I thought that was a really beautiful, welcoming thing. Algeria, that was the one. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a lovely kind of gesture. Um, so the people of America have been hospitable. It's just that the American government are dog shit. Yeah. No, I was not a massive Luigi Collina fan. I think he was one of the most overrated referees ever. Don't get me wrong, not a bad referee, but people talk about him as if he was great. He was an annoying cunt. And he did look like someone squeezing the end of a penis. I'm just saying. Oh, Algeria was Lawrence, Kansas. See, I Kansas stuck in my head. I was close enough. That'll do. Even though I think Kansas City is in Missouri, isn't it? But that's... America's confusing. Also, you do have to choose. Either it's Arkansas and Kansas, or it's Kansas and Arkansas. Stop being fucking weird, America. Yeah. So that was nice. Have we had a crab dance for Mitch yet? Is he dead? Did I miss that? Did Mitch McConnell die? I do hope so. I'm not seeing any news about it. And presumably it would be said. So no, I mean we haven't had a crab dance. Is to be absolutely truthful about it. No, there has not been one. He might be dead. Well, that's look. I don't crab dance for might be. He's in a coma. How can they tell? Honestly, what test can you do on Mitch McConnell that would show he was in a coma? He's been fucking unconscious for the last 15 years, hasn't he? How would anyone notice the difference? Oh, for God's sake. Why have you got to do my boy Streamy like this? This is outrageous slander. Mr. Streamy finally found the ideal role for him on the cricket team. That is unfortunate. Yeah, we've got an update on Mitch McConnell. Don't flip him over. Don't flip him over. It's fine. What is this? Why is that taking forever to load? Mitch McConnell's hospital room. Oh, for God's sake. You people are incorrigible delinquents. You really are. Keir Starmer stepped... What? No way. Is that true? Oh, for fuck's sake, Starmer, you're such a bellend. You're such a prick, mate. Oh my god, what a fucking useless cunt, honestly. This is what you're concerning yourself with. Keir Starmer stepped in to stop FIFA bringing forward the England game. Keir Starmer personally stepped in to stop FIFA from bringing forward their kick-off to the... According to The Sun, okay, well, it's The Sun, but whatever. The Prime Minister told the FA he was opposed to moving the World Cup match from 1 AM to UK time to 7 PM last night because it would give England's players less time to adapt to the altitude and give Mexico an unfair advantage. What the fuck? Again, that is government interference, and yeah, England probably should now be fucking disqualified as well. The FA contacted Downing Street. Why? Why the fuck would Why would the FA contact Downing Street? What's it got to do with Downing Street? Like what? The Sun understands the English FA made contact with the number 10 to see if they would accept moving the top. It's got nothing to do with number 10 Downing Street. The fucking... The Prime Minister has absolutely no role in the governance of kick-off times of England games. That's not how any of this fucking works. Or it's not how it should work. But Keir, so apparently a source told the newspaper the Mexicans were really talking up the storm and were pressing to move the game. But Keir was having none of it and suspected they were trying to derail the England preparations by giving less time to adapt to the altitude. So he put his foot down. So he's done more to stop the England kickoff being fucking changed than he has to stop fucking genocide. Oh my god. What a wanker, honestly. Like, please fuck off. Just fuck off forever, mate. Absolute wanker. Got nothing to do. It's literally got nothing to do with the British government. Absolutely nothing to do with them whatsoever. Why were they even contacted about this? It's not. There's nothing to. Yeah, it's nothing to do with them. What can I say? This guy can't take decisions about like actual governmental policy, but apparently he has very clear opinions about England footballers' altitude training. What a fucking gimp, really. What an absolute twat. You know who's not a twat though? Dan Burn. Fucking legend. So, former Birmingham City player, Dan Burn. He's not remembered as a Birmingham City player, but he was. Headed the ball from the edge of his own area into the opposition's half. Look at this. Absolutely insane shit. Just gets in the way. Boom. Dan Burn says no. And you wouldn't mind, right? But it wasn't the only time he did it. This time, under his own power. Boom. Header. Gone. When Dan Burn heads a ball, it stays fucking headed. It's gone. Big Dan Burn said no. Yeah, he's got fucking head like an Easter Island statue, mate. Dan Maui Burn. Unbelievable shit. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, so that all happened. What's this? John Stones pranked. You've been blocked by network security. I'm blocked on Reddit. What? Apparently I'm blocked on Reddit. Oh no, there we go. Oh no, it's accepted it this time. What's this? That's ridiculous. It's like that old thing where you pretend to have a bad knee and then you do the twisty thing and start dancing again. Fucking hell. Dickheads. Oh god. Okay, I think we've put it off long enough, haven't we? Should we take a look at... Fucking hell. Does anyone have a link? So this story from America. Has he commented on it at all? Has he like given a statement? Presumably denying it, unless he's come forward and gone, actually, you know, I did rape her. Like, would yeah, Plattner, yeah, exactly, yeah. I suppose talking about governmental rape is not really narrowing it down enormously in America, I guess, or in Britain for that matter. But on this particular occasion, we're talking about Graham Plattner. Yes. Has he said anything? He's called it fake news, has he? Okay. Let's have a look. Alright, Plattner. Presumably it has to be the number one story. Here we go. Woman accuses Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner of sexual assault. Okay. Democratic candidate for Senate, who has still faced a series of scandals, denies allegations reported by Politico. Alright. A woman has accused Graham Plattner, the Democratic candidate for US Senate in Maine, of sexual assault. According to exclusive report by Politico, Jenny Rassicot, 51, dated the oyster farmer, former Marine veteran. That's a very weird way of putting that. And alleges he forced her to have sex despite repeated objections. Plattner denied the claims in a statement to Politico. These allegations are troubling, serious, and false. Any accusation of non-consensual behaviour is categorically untrue, he said. Rassicot told the outlet she had an on-off relationship with Plattner for more than 2 years. She alleges that in late 2021, an intoxicated Plattner entered her home uninvited and forced himself on her. Rassicot said she terminated contact after the encounter. The report cited accounts from a man Rassicot later confided in, as well as therapists' emails and messages where she warned an acquaintance about Plattner years before his Senate run. Plattner, who secured the Democratic nomination and faces Republican Senator Susan Collins in the general election, has faced a series of scandals. Plattner has cast himself as a populist everyman with an anti-oligarch message. Before his run for public office, he made controversial comments on social media and got a Nazi-linked tattoo. It's a Nazi tattoo. That's what that is, which has been covered up. Not covered up as in like hidden, but hidden, but not denied as such. Just covered up as in the tattoo has been covered up. Plattner has said he did not initially understand the meaning of the tattoo, which is bollocks. In a video message, Plattner again said the accusations were false, but that he was mindful of the political reality the accusations will carry. Quote, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goals of defeating Susan Collins. Rassicot was one of several women who spoke to the New York Times for a previous story in June about Plattner's unsettling behaviour with women he dated. She told Politico she hesitated to make her claim public because she had a huge moral conflict between supporting Plattner's politics and not supporting him as a person. She also said she did not share the sexual assault claims with the New York Times for their story because she did not want to be known as a rape victim, which is of course a reason that a lot of people don't come forward. You're perfectly entitled to that response, but unfortunately it doesn't help. Rassicot told Politico she had previously had consensual relations with Plattner until a night in 2021 when he allegedly let himself into her unlocked house and forced himself on her. She repeatedly told him to stop and that she believed he was almost blackout drunk. According to Politico, Rassicot accused Plattner of having sex with her against her will and ejaculating inside her after she told him not to. There were no police reports filed at the time. That is... yeah, that's really bad. Here you go. What's this? Oh, he's actually like fully addressed it. Okay. Platinum for Senate. Right. Let's have a look what he has to say.
I wanted to directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false. Over the last 10 months, I've been deeply humbled by the faith Mainers have put in me. You have welcomed me into your homes, into your places of work, into your restaurants, into your houses of worship. You have shown that a different kind of politics, one that puts the interests of people over corporations, is not just possible, but is inevitable. This movement we have built, the largest volunteer base in the history of Maine politics, the hundreds of thousands of grassroots donors, and the supporters across the ideological spectrum, we were united in a love of Maine, a belief that our politics must change, and a focus on defeating Susan Collins. So, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward for the state that I love, the people that I love, the movement I belong to, and the goal of defeating Susan Collins. Those were the goals when we launched this campaign.
Yeah, this is a sort of nothing statement, really. I mean, it's a denial. He says it's untrue, so that's... He is doing the fake news thing. The one thing that does, I think, lend significant credence to the claim of the woman is the messages before he ran for Senate. Because, like, there's obviously, like, political machinations where you could perfectly well understand the powers that be trying to drag up anything about him and making up lies, getting someone to say that they did a thing and blah 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 blah. But if she was telling people this story before he ran for Senate, when he was just an oyster farmer, why would anyone make that up? Like that? Yeah, that doesn't ring true. And it could also be that he genuinely doesn't remember. If he was blackout drunk, it's possible he didn't remember this taking place. Doesn't change the fact that it did take place. If indeed that is the case, which, again, I'm certainly erring on the side of that being the situation. You know, when you get drunk, the actions you take are still your actions. It's mitigation in certain circumstances, but you don't get to just commit crimes and say, oh, I was drunk. Well, yeah, you decided to get drunk. You weren't fucking spiked. You got drunk, you acted in a stupid way, you take the consequences. Including, you know, not running for Senate, including maybe going to jail, you know, that, hopefully. I mean, he's a white guy, so he's probably not going to jail for this, but, yeah. Read the Politico story. I don't have the Politico story. Hang on 1 second. I suppose I could Google it. We'll watch the rest of this first.
And they remain my goals today. On June 9th, 154,058 Mainers, the most in primary history, voted to reject a broken politics beholden to Washington and the donor class. They voted for hope, for change, to take back our economy, to take back our power, and to take back our Senate seat. Throughout it all, you never turned your back on me, and I will not turn my back on you now. Every one of you...
It doesn't sound wise to have your back to him, in all honesty. It's always the ones you most suspect, isn't it? Who'd have thunk it? Nazi McFucking Jarhead over here is a rapist?
Who deserves to see that vision come to fruition and see Susan Collins defeated. And we will use every tool at our disposal.
Now, I would like to see Susan Collins defeated by the Grim Reaper, ideally, but either way, this guy can't go to the fucking Senate. Not a chance. Although, of course, now that he's a convicted rapist and a Nazi, there's a chance Trump might put him on the Supreme Court. So, you know, there's that, I guess.
To do so. As Maine goes, so goes the nation. As always, thank you.
Well, to a degree, he's right in that as Maine goes, so goes the nation, because, of course, Maine only exists because of America's desire to keep slavery going. As you do. Who is this guy? Context, Kev. Oh, he is, at time of recording, the Democratic nominee for the US Senate seat that's coming up in whatever month the vote is taking place. Running against the Republican incumbent Susan Collins in the state of Maine, which is the most northeastern of the states, which used to be a part of Massachusetts until they needed to keep the 50-50 slave and free state compromise of 1850 or whatever it was going, and a new slave state had been admitted to the Union, and so they went, you know what, this bit of rural northern Massachusetts, we'll just chop it off and make it a new state. There you go, 50-50 balance restored, rather than like stopping doing slavery, you know. Yeah. Anyway, and Plattner is he's a bit of a Nazi, it would appear. He had a Nazi tattoo. I don't know why you would... Like, the thing is, just getting a tattoo doesn't necessarily tell you everything about a person, but I cannot think of a single possible... Jesus Christ. Why am I gay? Because twinks are yummy. What can I say? Yeah, I can't think of a single mitigating circumstance here. The only people who get Nazi tattoos are Nazis. No one gets an ironic Nazi tattoo. There's no like non-Nazi reason that you would ever get that tattoo. So he's a bit of a Nazi, at least he was. You know. And it would appear, maybe, very possibly, a rapist. Which, like, that tracks. Nazis and rapists. The Venn diagram is not a circle, because there are some rapists who are not Nazis. But all Nazis certainly, let's say, don't care too much for the concept of other people's consent. It's one of the core aspects of fascism, really, isn't it? The destruction of other people's right to say no to things, up to and including being murdered. Anyway, yeah, should we take a look at the Politico story? Don't make me fucking cite. It's the top story, okay. Woman who dated Graham Plattner says he sexually assaulted her. Okay. Exclusive. Oh, well, I already read that. The Maine Democrat denied the allegations and said any accusation of non-consensual behaviour is categorically untrue. A woman who dated Maine US Senate candidate Graham Plattner says he forced her to have sex with him nearly 5 years ago, despite her repeated objections. An allegation Plattner denies. The woman, a 41-year-old Maine resident named Jenny Rackacott, detailed the incident to Politico in 3 interviews over the last 2 weeks. Politico also spoke to a man Rackacott dated and confided in years after the alleged event, and reviewed documents including emails between Rackacott and her therapist, and messages between Rackacott and an acquaintance whom she warned against getting involved with Plattner years before he ran for office. Which, by the way, just a quick aside to like sexual abusers and stuff. People, or not even just sexual abusers, full stop. Men out there, women talk, often in places you don't fucking see, and they confide in one another about who is and isn't safe to be around. Now, you shouldn't not abuse on the basis of self-interest. You should do so because you're not an abuser. But clearly, if you're an abuser, you don't care about other people's consent. But surely you do care about ever getting laid again, I assume. So, don't be a piece of shit. Would be, just a piece of general advice. She said, I remember him grabbing my pelvis and being really forceful of me. Being really forceful of me, she said. I remember the specific moment where I thought to myself, like, this is no longer my choice. Jesus. Plattner denied the allegations. These allegations are troubling, serious and false. Any accusation of well, we just watched that video. Rassicot previously described reckless and unsettling behaviour by Plattner to the New York Times, but she says she didn't go public because she didn't want to be known as a rape victim. Rassicot said she later felt compelled to go public about her experience because the reaction to the Times story was dominated by controversy about another woman, Lindsay Fifield, who alleged Plattner mistreated her and faced attacks because of her ties to the Republican Party. Contacted by Politico, Fifield stood by the allegations she made to the Times and declined to comment further. Quote, my part of the story was just a read-over, Rassicot said in an interview, and the story was Lindsay and the accusations of her being politically motivated. Well, this is the thing. Because politicians and political parties are so egregiously immoral, you could argue possibly amoral, but I think it goes beyond that to immorality as well. You can't look past the concept that the Republican Party would definitely put someone up to this. This is a party that have willingly been the lapdogs of an actual rapist for years. So the idea that they would get someone to lie about being raped is not beyond the bounds of possibility. So the fact that this person had political ties to the pro-rape side of the argument doesn't make her accusations false, of course, but can be used as, potential, like, take it with a pinch of salt type attitude, because, politically motivated shit like this, especially against anti-establishment politics, is definitely something that happens. Be it smears of anti-Semitism against, anti-genocide campaigners, or whether it be accusations of being a communist or a terrorist sympathizer and all of this shite. So, like, I get that. Whereas this person, I don't think fills that. I don't think this person fills that niche, if you will. This person is clearly a person who supports Plattner's political position and didn't just come forward terrorist sympathiser, but we say synthesizer to take the piss. Anyway, this is a person who didn't just come forward after he ran for office and there's like there's clearly a not political angle to why this person is coming forward. So I think the context seems to suggest that this is legit, which means he's a Nazi and a rapist. Can anyone tell me why people on the left are okay with that? Like, don't get me wrong, I've not seen people on the left defending this bit of it, because I didn't even know about this until I logged on earlier. But certainly people have been defending him after the Nazi shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, why was anyone okay with this? Like, I have to say I was disappointed by the majority report sticking by this guy. Even after the Nazi tattoo shit. Like... Anyway. They have now decided to believe women. Who have? What do you mean, Maria? Who has decided that? Oh, shit. Pressed the wrong thing. Thank you, Dingus, by the way, for 16 months. I won't read out your message because it's just slander. That is... Oh yeah, no, we can have a palate cleanser, certainly. Cat puts herself to sleep in a tiny human bed. Nope. You gotta have biscuits. Oh, she's got a little Rudolph friend as well. Fuck yes. A big W for Rebecca Watson and Lance from the Surfs for calling Plattner out months ago. Yeah, no, good on them. Yeah. I mean, technically, that cat didn't put itself to sleep in the bed. Someone put that blanket over them. That is adorable, but that's not quite as advertised. Okay, back to this monstrousness. I was really hoping for like a chill one tonight. I'm definitely doing GeoGuessr after this, by the way, because I need to decompress. Decompress sesh? Compress sesh? Anyway. Rassicot said she was torn over coming forward in part because she agrees with Plattner politically. Quote, one of the reasons I didn't come forward sooner was the huge moral conflict that I had between supporting his politics and not supporting him as a person. She said, I just want the truth out there. I want people to have a whole...
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Absolutely scared the fucking shit out of me. Jesus cunting Christ. Okay, we're turning the alert box off because I just nearly fucking died. It's pronounced Rassico. Is it? Okay, cool. Oh. Apologies, everyone. That... I jumped out of my fucking skin. I forgot I'd left the fucking alert box on. Ooh. Okay. Right. Thank you, Carl Brown, for gifting a couple of memberships. Much love to you, my friend. Much love to you. Okay. In a statement, the Plattner campaign reiterated his denial and accused critics of trying to drive him out of the race. Quote, these allegations are very serious and Graham vigorously denies them. They are also coached and coordinated by out-of-state establishment operatives. I'm not sure this is the play. For a year, opponents of this campaign have thrown everything they can at Graham, calling him a Nazi, which there is some evidence for, a war criminal, and a communist. None of it has been true, and this is no different. It is not a coincidence that this story comes a week before the ballot deadline, just as the previous false allegations came a week before the primary. Rayam, Jesus Christ. Graham began this campaign to fight for a Maine where everyone is treated with dignity and where Mainers are put first, and no amount of desperate smears will stop this movement from seeing that vision through. So is he going to carry on even in the face of all of this? Is that what we're being told? Because then, like, I don't even have, like... I don't have a horse in this race then. Is it possible that Maine could elect no senator? I feel like that should be an option. Like, with none of the above, and you just don't get a senator that year or whatever. Like, I feel like that would be better than sending either Susan Collins or Rapey McNazi face, you know? Yeah. Anyway, hello there, Casual Revolt. Thank you for raiding in. Much love to you. Hello there, everybody. I'm Kevin Logan, a socialist from the UK. Yeah, we're doing a serious topic. It's very depressing. Apologies, we're talking about the Plattner story from Americano land. Anyway, I'm Kevin Logan, socialist from the UK. You can hit the follow button, as indeed J. Williams Art did. Much love to you. Yes, and stick around because the content is fucking depressing. So why not be depressed together? That's the socialist way. Yeah, the equal distribution of the terrible timeline. Platinum. Fucking Christ. Apologies, everyone. I'm hungover. There was a sporting event last night. Plattner, an oysterman and political newcomer, when he launched his Senate campaign last August, easily... Oh, by the way, everyone go and follow Casual Revolt. I forgot to even do that bit. Launched his Senate campaign last August, easily won the Democratic primary last month to face GOP Senator Susan Collins in one of the nation's most highly watched Senate races. It certainly will be now. His remarkable rise has been tainted by controversies, including offensive online comments. What did he say about... What was the offensive online comments? I got older and became a communist. Did he actually say that? Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. And allegations of past mistreatment of women. He has not previously been accused of sexual assault. The Iraq and Afghanistan war veteran, brackets, war criminal, has linked some of his behaviour to mental health struggles and alcohol abuse. Which is pretty weak sauce. Like, don't get me wrong, there are mental health concerns and substance abuse problems that can lead to negative behaviour. But I'm sorry, there's no excuse for rape. That's no. Just fucking no, mate. What are you doing? But he says he's changed and has denied previous claims that he was abusive to women. Rasico told Politico she connected with Plattner on the dating app Bumble. Bumble? I don't think I've even heard of Bumble. Anyway, in 2019, and had consensual relations with him prior to the night he allegedly assaulted her. That night was in late 2021. She said she has exchanged text messages with him and told him not to come over, saying she wasn't in the mood for company. Later that evening, she said she realised when she heard a sound on the stairs that he had let himself into her house, which was unlocked. Plattner came up the stairs, Rasico said, to where she was on a couch. He got on top of her and kept grabbing her, she said, while she repeatedly told him to stop and that she wasn't interested. Rasico said she smelled alcohol in his breath and believed he was almost blackout drunk because Plattner ignored her protests and continued to grab her after knocking over an antique sewing kit, spilling small needles everywhere. It's... I fucking hate every aspect of it. I had been telling him these words like, no, don't, she recalled. And the look on his face and realising what was happening, I just realised that, like, I am in a situation where there's no consent here, she said. Fucking hell. Rasiko said she tried to separate herself from Plattner by telling him she couldn't be in that room anymore, after which he followed her to her bedroom and had sex with her against her will. She said he also ejaculated inside of her despite her telling him not to, and she was not using birth control at the time. Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. If I see a single purported leftist still defending this piece of garbage after this, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I swear to God. There's no, just no. This is intolerable. Yeah, this should be the end of his campaign, but in America, being a rapist is not in any way, it seems, a bar to public office, which is just spectacularly grim. But there we go. Whew. She went to clean herself up, she said, and when she returned, Plattner had fallen asleep. She contemplated waking him to kick him out, but worried he could hurt someone driving in the state he was in. The following morning, she said... Oh, so he'd driven to the place. Jesus Christ. It just gets worse. The following morning, she said, Plattner tried to put his arm around her and she pushed him away. She said she asked him whether he remembered what happened the previous night, according to Rasiko. Plattner said he didn't remember. Rasiko said she told him to leave and never contact her again. So did she inform him about what had happened? Or did she just leave it as he didn't remember? I mean, it's not relevant to whether or not it happened or whatever, but, like, that would be interesting to know. Because, like, he says it didn't happen, which, if he doesn't remember it, would be not him lying, just him telling a thing that isn't true, but that he believes to be true. But he would still be a rapist, he just wouldn't be dishonest in the denial. Rasiko said she waited several weeks until she got her period to ensure she wasn't pregnant. Then sent Plattner a private message on Instagram saying the encounter was not consensual. Okay, so he does know. So he's lying there, okay. And said she did not want to hear from him ever again. Rasiko said... So Rasiko had no further contact with him after that, she said. Rasiko said she later deleted all her text and social media correspondence with Plattner as she tried to move on from the assault, and she said she had not been able to recover the Instagram messages she sent to him about the incident. In the weeks after the alleged assault, Rasiko said she considered going to the police but struggled with shock and confusion about what had happened to her and did not want to file a police report. And of course in America and in Britain, rape is not taken seriously by the police, which does put people off from bothering in the first place. As grim as that is. Even as time passed, she said she felt uncomfortable potentially telling a police officer about such a personal experience and feared retaliation from Plattner. At first, she confided only in her therapist, who she continues to see. Rasiko showed Politico recent emails with her therapist in which Rasiko explained she was talking to the media about her relationship with Plattner and the, quote, SA/rape, using an abbreviation for sexual assault. In the message, Rasiko was not ready to go public about seeking help corroborating her account in conversations she was having with reporters on condition of anonymity. Her therapist responded that Rasico shouldn't have to speak publicly about a traumatic incident in order to be believed, without referencing details of a particular incident. The therapist, who Politico agreed not to name at her request, declined to comment when reached on Monday. Which is fair enough, yeah. Rasico also shared details about the alleged assault to the man she dated after Plattner, who she began dating in 2022. The man, who was granted anonymity out of concern for his personal privacy, told Politico that Rasico had told him in bits and pieces about a bad experience with Plattner before confiding the full details of what happened in 2023. His account of what Rasico told him about the incident matched what Rasico told Politico. Again, the cross-confirming of details is also very revealing. Rasico shared with Politico a series of private Facebook messages she exchanged with an acquaintance in 2023, about a year and a half after the alleged assault, and well before Plattner launched his political career, in which she cautioned the acquaintance against getting involved with Plattner. In messages, Rasico said she had ended up in a bad situation with him, and described Plattner as consensually careless, and saying he doesn't listen to you when drunk. Reached by Politico, the acquaintance said she received the message but declined to comment. Politico granted her anonymity at her request to protect her privacy in her main community. I saw your post about oysters the other day. I feel morally obliged to warn you if you were anything more than just friends with Graham. Is that in white because it's been highlighted? I don't know. But if you're not, then I'll shut up for now and give you the scoop sometime. Just friends, would love the scoop though. Is he still engaged? I was working on fixing up a friend. I have no idea who with. Not sure what that really says. Other than say to warn you against it, I guess. But yeah. Politico also spoke with a friend Rasico had told about the alleged assault last summer, shortly after Plattner launched his campaign. The friend, to whom Politico granted anonymity due to fear of social and professional backlash, recalled Rasico telling her about the incident, including that Plattner had been, quote, very drunk and wouldn't take no for an answer. God, this is fucking grim, isn't it? Like, yeah, this has to be the end of him. Surely. Rasico said she had contacted the New York Times in the spring and shared off the record that Plattner had assaulted her. She told the Times that she had some positive memories of her relationship with Plattner, but thought he did not respect women and had cut off contact with him after an incident in 2021 when Plattner had come over drunk, but the Times article stated that Rasico declined to elaborate about what had happened, only describing his behaviour as reckless and unsettling. The Times didn't comment. After the publication of the Times report, Rasico connected with Cheyenne Hunt, a progressive Democratic lawyer who founded the non-profit Reckoning Action, which launched earlier this year to fight misogyny. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Hunt, who had endorsed Plattner last year but renounced her support for him after the Times article, previously supported women who came forward with with assault allegations against Representative Eric Swalwell, Democratic California, earlier this year, prompting him to drop out of the California gubernatorial primary and resign from Congress. Yeah. NBC News previously reported that Hunt was working with multiple women who had past relationships with Plattner. Hunt connected Politico to Rasico. So the thing is, he has to be over on a moral level, but just on a practical level. Because if there are more people that are working with these groups, telling their stories. This is just going to be the entire election is just, oh, another rape allegation against this guy or whatever. Right? So both morally and politically, and unfortunately those two things are not the same. They're not synonymous, unfortunately. Yeah, this has to be the end of him, surely. Swipe the images. I can't fucking swipe images. What are you talking about? There's a button on the right. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't see the little arrow. I was working on fixing him up with a friend. So this is back to the text message thing from earlier, which wasn't very revealing, but that's just because it was the first fucking page. Oh, girl, I think her name is Jen from like the Rockland area. I haven't heard of anyone. He was as of last summer, but I know, but also my timeline is a little sketch. So maybe it was the summer. What's his deal? Should I fix him up? Assuming he's single. He can be charming and funny, but he's a decently intelligent person. He's not all bad, but I ended up in a bad situation with him, and I will just very politely call him consensually careless at times. When drunk, plus PTSD. Ah, I knew about the PTSD. He lies also. Forces himself upon people? One thing that grossed me out after him and I had dated was that I saw his profile on OkCupid, and that site asks a lot of questions, and one of the questions was, if your partner told you they had over 100 sexual partners, what would your response be? And his response was, that's not that many. So that super grossed me out, thinking he's probably slept with a ton of people. Doesn't listen to you when drunk. Okay, I mean that seems pretty definitive then, because she wasn't doing this when he was a political candidate. Yeah, he's a rapist. Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, okay, he's a rapist. Because these were private messages shared between a friend, and again, women do this for understandable protection reasons. They will tell other people if they've had a bad experience with this person or that person, so that either they don't get involved with them or they don't set someone up who could get abused or whatever. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I think the being grossed out by having 100 partners is a bit weird, sex shamey, slut shamey thing, but he's clearly like an abuser on some level. Yeah. Yep, he's a rapist. Okay. Reckoning action exists to confront misogyny in American life in all forms and manifestations, including in bad actors being elected to positions of power, Hunt said. We became aware of allegations before ever being connected with Jenny, and have been in contact with multiple women with really troubling allegations, and it just became clear that this is someone who's not fit to hold public office. Well, that should be the case, but unfortunately the president is a rapist. Again, just pointing that out, he's a rapist and a pederast, and probably wants to fuck his own daughter. So clearly not disqualifying. What does the thing about encryption mean? Well, presumably this is on Facebook Messenger, so it'll be, if you go onto Facebook Messenger, it just says the end-to-end encryption, so that people can't hack in there and like do crazy shit. Yeah. It's like a safety thing on Facebook. Don't worry about it. After the Times report last month, Plattner had said the allegations of physical misconduct were simply not true, and his allies seized on Fifield's conservative political affiliations to suggest that her allegations against him in the Times article were motivated by politics. On MS Now, which, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Is that a TV station, I guess? In Maine? Probably Maine something. I don't really care. Last month, after the New York Times report, Plattner denied claims that he had physically mistreated women. Quote, anything alleging physicality, anything alleging that I knew what my tattoo was, these are the statements of someone who's politically motivated, he told MS Now, alluding to unrelated allegations about a tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol. That is, I think that sentence can be put down to the legal department. That definitely seems like some legal department shit. MS Now is the remnants of MSNBC. Oh, okay. They rebranded to be more chud coded. Brilliant, awesome. Because apparently the American media wasn't shit enough as it is. Plattner had the tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol covered up last fall, and said he had not known what the symbol meant. That's obviously not true. Rasico said that she was bothered by Plattner's public denial that he had been physical towards women. It's a weird way of putting that. I know that he is capable of putting his hands on women, she said, so I don't believe that to be the truth. That's a shit way of ending that article, but yeah, okay. Yeah, so he's a Nazi and a rapist. Look, I was already pretty convinced that he used to be a Nazi at the very least, and you know, whilst one has to open the door and allow people to change and get better, just because someone was a Nazi doesn't mean they're always going to be. We have to, surely, as socialists, believe that people can repent and seek absolution, etc., etc. I don't get the impression this guy had any interest in that, because he literally denies knowing it was a Nazi thing. So he was a Nazi who's lying. So he's a lying Nazi who is a sexual abuser. Why is he running on the Democratic ticket? That's what you got to know. He's absolutely boilerplate Republican, right? This is like your average fucking curriculum vitae for a Republican candidate at basically every level now. Nazi prick, sexual abuser, lying piece of shit. Yeah, that's the GOP. That's the grand old party of Lincoln, who ironically are more racist than Lincoln was, which is difficult 150 years later, but there we go. Why have the majority report gone so hard in supporting him? Well, if we ignore for a brief moment the Nazi thing, and before these sexual assault allegations came out, right, his politics are okay. Certainly a lot better than your bog standard fucking democratic liberal pish. But there we go. You know, he is a Nazi and a rapist, though, so I don't care that he wants to take on, like, money in politics because he's a rapist. I don't care that he's anti-oligarch when he's a Nazi. You know, I don't care. I don't fucking care. Do you think his defenders are going to not say anything about him after this, like, rather than try to change course? I don't know, in all honesty. And the thing is, if he remains the candidate, and I believe I'm right in saying there's a very small window that they can now change to a different candidate. If he remains the candidate, they're going to have months of this campaign, which is a very high-profile one because it's a swing state, and Susan Collins has been on the verge of losing her seat several times. You know, they're going to have to say something. You can't ignore. If you're a political commentator, you can't ignore that. And honestly, if the people have been backing him through all of this, now has to be the time that they stop that and come out and admit that they were wrong. I'd have a lot of respect for people who do that. I'd have a lot more respect for people who do that than anyone who either just ignores it like it's inconvenient, which of course it is inconvenient. When you get something wrong, that's not good. Especially as a political commentator. But you do have to admit when you were wrong. You can't play that off like that's nothing. Because he's a rapist. He's a rapist. That's, I mean... I'd be enormously disappointed if Emma Vigeland still supports him after this. I'll have to wait and see, because they do their show Monday to Friday, so we'll have to see what they say on Monday. But no, it is Monday. What am I talking about? Have they done a show yet? I don't know. It's like the middle of the afternoon or whatever. Or the evening, yeah. I hope she doesn't. That would be very disappointing. In fact, actually, it would be fucking disgusting. It's a real shame. Oh, I'm just bummed out now. Oh, this came out after they did their show. Okay, well, there you go. He gives Strasserite vibes. I mean, maybe. For those who don't know what that is, that's like a... They've, you know, it's after... Well, technically they were brothers, but the most famous one is Gregor Strasser. Who were like Nazis, and they were the bit of the Nazi party that vaguely actually believed in socialism. They were still Nazis, but they actually thought like, oh, Nazism will take care of the oligarchs, when of course that was never what it was about. And of course both of them were killed, because any opposition to Nazis is no. So yeah, essentially yes, socialism plus hating Jews. And a few other things, hating gays, stuff like that. It's like the it's a very extreme version. You know, you get a lot of people who say that they're like, oh, I'm economically conservative but socially liberal. It's the opposite of that, but taken to an extreme. Like, I'm economically a socialist but socially a fascist. Don't clip that out of context. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm super bummed out now. Is there anything nice and fun we can just watch? I think I'd probably still vote Democrat if I was in that state, but only because the GOP are unambiguously fascist and can't be allowed any power. I know what I get the impulse there, 255, but like, the guy is still a Nazi and a rapist. I couldn't vote for him. I'd vote for like other people down the ticket or whatever, but I couldn't vote for him. No. If my two options are both shit, I just won't vote for them. I'm not being Homer Simpson and saying, don't blame me, I voted for Kang. No, I'm not voting for either of them. They're both aliens who want to enslave us. Are Bolivian mine workers still throwing dynamite at police? We could watch that. Well, as you know, that would be terrorism. And we can't do that on the show, okay? Most men have done this. What, raped people? Is that the contention there in YouTube chat? Yeah, I was gonna do some GeoGuessr, but I don't know if I can be bothered. Like I'm super bummed out now. Oh good lord, that was loud. What is this? Cute kittens being over dramatic. Best of 2026. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, they're stinky.
Isn't GeoGuessr a fascist now? Well, I don't actually play the real GeoGuessr anyway. It's like a knockoff version that you don't have to pay for.
Are you okay? You okay?
Cats are always okay. They're more than okay. They're awesome. You've got some pseudo history for me. Okay. Minute Man. They are lying to you about the second Sphinx. What the fuck? Okay, I'll have to have a look at that. Hang on. Yeah. I'll look at that off stream. Can you show me it, please, Kev? Okay, you're gonna have to narrow down what you mean by it. What's the it you wish me to show you?
Hello again.
What the oh, that's weird. It's weird. Oh, the geo. Oh, okay. Well, it's City Guesser, right? Hang on. Here we go. It's called virtualvacation.us. Right? And you can do worldwide. Let's just do Firstly, we don't need that. Skip ad. Yeah, skip the ad. What the fuck? Oh, fuck off. Go away. Why is that? Right. So, well, okay, this one's a bit obvious. This one's a smidge obvious. Anyway, yeah, it's called virtualvacation.us. Okay, we'll start guessing. Is it North Dakota or South Dakota? I can never remember. Does it have it on a map? What's it called? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much. So I'm just going to go... There we go. What was I? I was 203 miles out. That's okay. Oh, this is Bavaria. You can tell that because of the blue and white checkered flag. That's the colours of Bavaria. So it's probably Munich, is what I'm thinking. München. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if we get any more definitive. Probably won't, in all honesty, but... Yep, Munich, there it is. Boom. München. I don't know whereabouts in Munich, so we're just going to go central. One mile out. I was 1 mile out. God, I'm good at this. Having said that, I don't know what language that is. So we're already off to a bad start because the street light signs are not going to help me. It looks vaguely Arabic, and that's all I can tell you so far. Oh, is that... Oh, I thought that was going to be ISIS flags, so I was like, what the fuck? Should you be filming? Oh, those letters look Greek. What the fuck? Where is this? What Arab-Greek situation have we got going on here? Oh no, this is bad. I can't even narrow it down to a continent yet. It definitely is. It's Arabic of some kind. But this is not. This video is not helping me at all. This is the most nondescript bit of fucking like. Oh, hang on, what are those flags? Give me flags. Flags are also always helpful. Is that Iranian? Am I getting Iranian there? What was with the fucking Greek lettering then? Yeah, that's Iran. We're in Iran. Now, thankfully, Iran is a very tiny country, and therefore, there's nowhere you can possibly guess. Because it's all just one tiny little place. Except, oh no, it's massive. It's fucking massive. It could be Tehran. That's probably my best guess, right? And as the street signs are not in English, it's not going to tell me Tehran in English, and I don't know what it is in Farsi. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think we're gonna get any closer. So we're just gonna go with Tehran. There we go. Yeah. Only 11 miles out. I'll fucking take that. That is a cheeky win. Oh, we are in Europe. Okay. But whereabouts in Europe, you may ask? I'm guessing Scandinavia. I'm getting Scandi vibes. Especially as that says Nordic store. So yeah, I'm guessing Scandinavia. My working hypothesis is Oslo. But we'll see. Canada Goose, so that's not helpful. that sign was just fucking Times. Hard Rock Cafe. Does it have a place name other than that on it? No, it does not. Carlsberg, I believe, is Danish, but it gets sold everywhere, so that doesn't help narrow it down at all. I'll play this for a little bit and then I'll just go to bed, chat. Apologies, this has been a bit of a weird stream, but the title should give you an indication it was going to be reasonably low energy. Icelandic. I saw Icelandic. But that just could be they serve Icelandic fare in that one shop. Or it could be an indication that we're in Iceland. Viking, again, that doesn't narrow it down greatly. Apologies, I'm not looking at chat because you're going to spoil it, because there's going to be people. I remember once we were playing and someone was like, oh, that's Salzburg because I live in Salzburg or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck? That takes the fun out of the game, surely. So we could be in Iceland. But it could just have been that one shop that said Icelandic, so I don't know. Let's have a little bit of volume. So at least it's not silent or me just going And you get the aura of the city. Number plates are good for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it gives you language, but also in the EU they have the blue EU flag on it as well. And the fact that I can't see the blue flag means I can rule out Sweden, Finland and Denmark, who are members of the EU. Which does back up my original Norway, but also includes fucking Iceland, so doesn't actually help me a great deal. Bergson, that could be anything. Oh no. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Because no offence to Scandinavians, but it's much of a muchness. It's all a bit similar. No offence. You know. Why are there flagpoles and no fucking flags? You're just cock teasing me now. Weird statue. I mean, water doesn't help me. Because all of Scandinavia has coastline and lakes and shit, so well, the only place we've actually definitely seen was Icelandic, right? So I'm going to go with Iceland, and like obviously Reykjavik is the best place to go. So we're going to go, boom, Reykjavik. Fuck yes. 1 mile out again. Should have trusted my gut. Oh, so this is Britain. Definitely. Straight away you can get, there's bong vibes all over this. Specifically, is this Oh, that's London. Oh, we're actually in London. Okay. Literally, when you see a TfL Transport for London sign, oh, 2 mile away. Fuck yes. Specifically, they were in Oxford Street. Okay. Okay. Happy St. Patrick's Day, but I mean, they celebrate that everywhere. And this, it feels vaguely American. Gas lamp quarter. Unfortunately, I don't recognise gas lamp quarter as anything. Oh, fleur-de-lis. We are in New Orleans, surely. Surely this is New Orleans. Yeah, I'm not even going to waste my fucking time. We're in New Orleans. Oh! San Diego. Why have you got a fleur-de-lis in San Diego, you bellend? You're Spanish, not French. Ugh. Okay, this is... Can we get a language? Can we get some writing to narrow it down? India. I saw the word India. So that helps me. Now again, India, much like Iran, big. Big place, lots of big cities. This doesn't even look like a big city. Bhangra music. Yeah, I'm getting... Yeah, this is India. Okay. Mountainous, possibly. So we're talking about the north. Maybe somewhere up by Dharamshala. Perhaps. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any better than it's India and it's in the northern mountainous bit. Well, that one said Delhi, but this can't be Delhi. Can it? It did say Delhi on that shop front, so it could be. But that could have just been something about contacting Delhi or whatever. Because this definitely does not look like Delhi. Not that I'm an expert on Delhi, I suppose, but... It seems more mountainous and all of that jazz. Okay, we'll do this one and 2 more after this, and then we'll call it quits. Because I am still sweating. Yeah, that's not Delhi, look at it. No, we're going north. We're going somewhere in the north. Although actually Delhi's in the north. I didn't realise it was that far north. Fuck it, yeah, we'll go Delhi then. Bollocks to it. Just north of Delhi. Ooh, no. Ooh, way further north. See, I should have followed my gut. Where's Dharamshala? Yeah, I'd have been better going Dharamshala, which is there, look. Fuck's sake. Infuriating. Oh, we've got a flag. Which one? What flag is that? Is that UAE? Possibly? Are we in Abu Dhabi? No, we're in Dubai. There you go. That made that easier. Fuck yeah, 12 miles, bitches. Okay, last one, and then I'm going to bed. It looks vaguely like some Rome or some shit. But those people are speaking Spanish. But Rome has lots of tourists, so it could still be... It could still be Spain. Or Italy or whatever. Museum... Oh, of Catalonia, so we're Barcelona? That's gotta be Barcelona then. One of my favourite cities in all of the world. I don't recognise this bit of it, if I'm entirely honest, but... Let's see if we can get some confirmation. See if Lamine Yamal walks past or something. What a piece of luck that would be. Let's say don't eat meat in spray paint on the wall. And then Tommy rule? I mean, it has to be Barcelona, right? What else is it going to fucking be? Yeah, the sky is not helping me. Can I get a Sagrada Familia or something? Can you show me the new camp? Or Camp Nou? Can you make it go quicker? Oh, you can. You can make it go 2 times speed. Oh, Papa. It's a lovely building, but I don't know. I don't really recognise it. Four random columns that aren't holding anything up. As you do. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any clearer view than it's saying the Museum of Catalonia. Oh, that's got Leon on it. Yeah, fuck it. Barcelona was my first guess, so we're going to go with it. Actually, let's look at this sign. Does this help me? Barcelona. There we go. Oh. I was literally only a mile out again. Fuck yes, everyone. Fuck yes. And on that bombshell, I'll leave you be. It literally says Catalonia. Yeah, I know, but Catalonia isn't just Barcelona. I was trying to be exact. Himachal Pradesh. Maria, and that is crazy that you know Himachal Pradesh. I am the goat. You're quite right. I am. I know some places. Anyway, right. Sorry, this has been a bit of a weird one and a bit of a short one. Less than 2 hours. Short and sweet. Like Christo. You know. Who should we go over to on the various platforms? Right, YouTube. Let's have a look. Hopefully I'll be less hungover tomorrow because I'm not drinking now, so I should be perfectly not hungover at all. Yeah, but we'll see. Oh. Some random geeks go in, and as they're a regular lurker, you can go and lurk there. The FA is going to appeal Kwanzaa's red. Why? It was a red card. They're obviously not going to overturn that. And we're not stopping them from being investigated for corruption, so they owe us nothing. Like the Prime Minister doesn't have the power of pardon, unlike the Trump, unlike the White House. So you know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Right. Who is going? Lux Progressive is going. They're probably going to be talking about Graham Plattner as well. So get ready for... Yeah, there we go, that's the title. Get ready for grimness, because I'm sure it's about to happen. I'll see you all tomorrow, because it is just before midnight. Stay beautiful. And you are beautiful, okay? Free Palestine. No pass around.
Mindset.